Hi, my name is Sydney, and I want to learn more about plate tectonics. So I did. This presentation is about plate tectonics. This project is part of the Genius Hour project given by Mr. Walker. Yes, Mr. Walker, your name's in it. To start my project, I asked myself, what am I interested in? What are my passions? And in my answer, I wanted to learn more about Earth plates and how do they move. Step 2. I had to pick a question, and I had to ask myself, are Earth plates?
What are the Earth plates?
What are the Earth plates, and how do they move and shift? I also want to know how they form an earthquake. Step 3. Make a plan. What materials will I need to? I will need to complete my project. How will I find the answer to my questions? I decided to Google my questions, look at Google Maps, and try to ask a scientist or a teacher. And step for presentation, I had to decide to deliver my project, and I decided to do a combination of PowerPoint presentation and video to show the results of what I learned. Today I am going to talk about tectonic plates. I am going to talk about what happens at plate boundaries, and I am going to talk about different types of boundaries. Let me start off by explaining what our plate tectonics is.
Plate tectonics
is an idea that the Earth's outer layer is made out of larger moving pieces called plates.
So Sydney, why is an egg a good example of the idea of plate tectonics?
An egg is a good example of how the Earth's outer layer, called the
lithosphere,
has cracks in the continent. When you crack an egg, there is a fault line, and inside the egg is the yolk, which is the hot lava.
Yeah. What's this other example that you have here?
Other example. Orange skin is crust.
Why don't you tell me how you told me the other day? Explain it.
Well, the orange crust is the crust of the Earth, and then the inside, under the crust is the warmer crust. Then under the warmer crust is the warmer crust. Then under the warmer crust is the hot lava.
The molten hot lava?
Yeah, molten hot lava.
Awesome. So I hear that there's 3 different types of boundaries. What are the 3 different types of boundaries? Want to say it together? There's diverging, converging, and transforming. Why don't you tell me about diverging?
Diverging is when the earth plates are going apart from each other. That means that volcanoes could form and rivers could form.
Okay, what about converging? What happens there?
It makes a little earthquake when the converging is mean when the older crust goes under the younger crust and then makes molten lava, and then the lava doesn't know where to go, so then it just busts through the crust, and then it makes a volcano.
And what about this last one? What is that one?
Transform means when they slide together, but they do not slide together nicely. They slide together, slide past each other very, very hard. Like, it's very, very bumpy. That also forms an earthquake, but yeah.
Okay, well, let's go into some more ideas here. So some things that happen at plate boundaries. What happens here?
It makes a mountain.
Okay. And then what also happens?
There's earthquakes and volcanoes often happen along the plate boundaries. There are also many earthquakes and volcanoes at the edges of the Pacific plate. That is region is called the Ring of Fire.
So what are some other things that happen at plate boundaries?
Earthquakes.
And what type? What's going on? Why don't you explain to me what's going on here?
When the plates slide, then they don't slide nicely. They collide.
Yeah, and have friction. Which causes an earthquake. Oh yeah, and this is the Ring of Fire.
The Ring of Fire is the major area in the in the Pacific Ocean where many earthquakes and volcanoes occur.
So what's happening on this slide? Why don't you explain it to me?
Well, there's a volcano, and the like I said, the sea water crust. Yeah, the ocean crust is older than the continent crust. So then the ocean water crust goes under, and then it breaks off, and then makes into magma, and then the magma doesn't know where to go, so then it busts through the continent, and then makes a volcano, and also that could happen underwater.
Oh, that's interesting. What else also happens along plate boundaries?
There's new islands also happen.
Tell me your conclusion.
My conclusion? I really liked this project because then I learned more about plate tectonics and how they form earthquakes and volcanoes. I didn't get to I didn't get a chance to talk to a scientist, but when I meet one, I will ask. Maybe when I grow up, I will become one. And I made a little video show you how happened how I applied what I learned last week. I hope you liked it.
No.
So when you see here, earthquake forms when it's like this, and then it's charging together. And see that my hand moved up, and one goes down, one goes up. That's happening in the road here. So when I press down on it, it's squeezing in here, and then when it's squeezing here, it's forming a little earthquake. That means it's like going this way, and when I do this, I'm unstraightening it.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.